Hello and welcome to the Virtual Couch Cancer Blog number 18 for Sunday, the 4th of August 2019. It's been a long time since my last video blog, which was in March 2018. So what's been happening? Well, quite a bit. Number one, the good news is I'm still in remission. So I have 6 monthly checkups now, and my next one is actually next week. I've got to get a blood test on Wednesday, and Thursday I'll go in and see the probably one of the hematology registrars, and not expecting any bad news at all. Because the last time I saw them, they more or less said that it was very unlikely my type of cancer, which was non-hodgkin's lymphoma, large medicinal mass, would come back again. Obviously it came back that second time not long after I went through the first round of chemotherapy. So it's all good news. I've finished my revaccination program. So obviously after the stem cell transplant 2 years ago, my immune system basically rebooted, and they put me through a vaccination program like I was a newborn, just to bump all those immunities back up. I still got 2 more to get because they were added to the regime after I'd started it, so I've got to arrange through my GP to get those. So I can't remember what they are, but they're just another 2. So that's all good news. I've been a healthy 89, 90 kilograms probably for 18 months or so now. Got a little bit of a dad bod, a bit of a gut now. So it's more or less simply because I haven't been regularly going to the gym. I've had a couple of attempts at going and sort of go for a week or 2, and then it just kind of falls by the wayside. So this is attempt number 2 for this year. I started last week and I went 3 times. I'm a bit more confident that I'll stick with it because I'm a bit more motivated now, and also because I've got a bit more time on my hands, which I'll explain why in a moment. In terms of what else is going on, well, work-wise, as I mentioned probably in my last blog, I had returned to my job last year in February for 3 days in the office, 2 days working from home, which I continued for the whole year. My workplace at that stage went through a restructure, and even though it was kind of assured that everyone will get the same job and it'll just be we're doing things a little differently now and blah blah blah, I actually didn't secure my job back. I was given a redundancy, so I finished up there in early December last year, and I thought, I'll probably not look for a job until the new year, until 2019. But as it happened, I had a couple of leads more or less fall into my lap around Christmas time, so I ended up doing a few interviews just before and just after Christmas for 2 roles, and ended up getting a role successfully, but didn't start there until late February this year. And it was actually at a place where I worked prior to the place where I'd just been made redundant from. That happened, and so it was a new job, but kind of at a place I worked before, and I knew people I was working with because I'd worked with them previously before, and so it was all kind of same familiar. So as with any new job, you're kind of a little bit nervous, whatever. But no, it was fine. I settled in pretty quickly, and the thing is I found myself getting overly stressed, which was unusual for me, and I just put it down to, okay, this is just a new job, and I'm still learning stuff and whatever. But I was starting to lose sleep, and starting to think about work a lot, which was not what I would normally do. And yeah, it was actually becoming quite a distraction, to the point where I felt myself getting quite anxious, until a certain point in late May, where it was kind of like a safety valve went off in my head, and I just couldn't go to work. And I thought, well, this is on a Thursday, Friday. And I thought, okay, I'll have a weekend off. But then the next week rolled around, I just couldn't face going to work, and which is, what the hell's wrong with me? So ended up going to the doctor and chatting to him, and yeah, so ended up arranging some counselling. I took some time off work because I thought, okay, I've just got to reset, and just get over it. And then I just found myself thinking, well, I really don't want to go back to work. Like, I just felt I wasn't confident that I was able to just jump back straight into it and not have the same thing happen again. So I took an extended break, like almost a month, and had discussed with my manager. We'd discuss, towards the end of that month, what would be the next step. And I just decided that, after a lot of thought, to resign. So I ended up resigning from that role. And yeah, so I'm currently unemployed. But I'm in a much better place, mentally and emotionally, than I was in May. Counselling's continuing, and I sort of feel like a lot of it was a lot of baggage from when I was going through the cancer fight, that probably I'd put to one side and not dealt with. And I thought, oh, I'm fine, I don't need, because my sister had said to me, you probably should get some more counselling, over a year ago, actually probably even before I went back to work, in early 2018. And I'm like, no, I'm fine, it's all good. And yeah, so here we are. So sometimes this is a bit of a delayed reaction, I suppose, but I don't know how long I'll take to get back into the workforce. Financially, I'm okay. And I always have my income protection to fall back on, although I really don't want to do that because it's quite a bit of hoops to jump through in order to get back on that. Yeah, so really, this is about resetting and getting into a good place, developing some coping mechanisms, and seeing it as an opportunity, not a bad thing to happen. And I think the hardest thing with any sort of mental issue is recognizing that you've got one, and not sort of saying, oh, she'll be all right. I've just got to harden up and keep soldiering on and all that sort of stuff. So I think I'm fortunate in that respect that I recognised it early, and I'm fortunate that I had a supportive workplace, and potentially I could have gone back, but again, I wasn't confident that I would have been able to handle, or not be confident that the same thing wouldn't happen again. So yeah, so whether I find another role before the end of this year or maybe next year, whether I look more locally in Geelong, because there are sort of more jobs, unlike a few years ago, that might suit my skill and experience, or even just change careers completely. That's also an option too. So everything's good, but I sort of felt that I should do an update and just let, I guess, put it on record of how things are going, because I've sort of, I guess it's my online diary to a certain extent. But yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. And I've rambled on for over 10 minutes, which is a lot longer than I intended to. But anyway, and yeah, green screen. Hopefully I'll put something interesting there. If not, it'll just be a green screen. All right. I'm not sure when the next update will be. But because there's hopefully no bad news in the future. Perhaps when I've got back to work, I might do another update. We'll see anyway. Okay, bye for now.